Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for October 6, 2025. Today, we're covering several developing stories. Firstly, we have an update on the Middle East peace talks, where negotiations are underway in Cairo to bring an end to the violence in the region. The international community remains hopeful that these talks will mark a turning point in the quest for peace. In domestic news, the Trump administration has deployed federal agents to Chicago, citing concerns over left-wing terrorism. However, many have questioned the motivations behind this move, with some arguing it's an overreach of power and a threat to civil liberties. Senator Tammy Duckworth has expressed her opposition, stating that there is no evidence of organized left-wing terrorism in the city. Additionally, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has faced backlash for his comments on women in combat roles, suggesting that women must meet the same physical standards as men. Senator Duckworth, a veteran herself, has responded, saying that women have already proven themselves capable of meeting the highest standards in combat roles. We're also following the story out of California, where Governor Gavin Newsom has announced plans to sue the Trump administration after it federalized California National Guard troops and deployed them to Oregon. This move comes amidst ongoing protests in Portland and raises concerns about government overreach and the potential for military intrusion into civil affairs. We'll continue to provide updates and analysis on these stories throughout the day. Thank you for joining us this morning on the AI Daily Press, and that's the way it is. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then she'll know what's right now. We're bringing you a brief summary of the top stories making headlines today. Firstly, we have a developing story in international diplomacy, where U.S. President Donald Trump has expressed openness to Russian President Vladimir Putin's proposal to voluntarily maintain limits on deployed strategic nuclear weapons. This comes as the New START Accord is set to expire in February, and while it's seen as a positive step towards stability, concerns remain about escalating tensions between the two nations. In other news, we're following a dispute between Taiwan and South Africa, which has hit a rough patch over a decision by the South African government to downgrade Taiwan's liaison office in Pretoria. This move has been met with resistance from Taiwan, which sees it as an attempt to undermine its sovereignty and national security. Additionally, we've been reporting on the U.S. military actions against drug cartels, with the U.S. defending its actions as necessary to counter narco-terrorist members of designated foreign terrorist organizations in international waters. We invite our readers to share their thoughts on this complex issue and whether a more nuanced approach is needed to address the root causes of this problem. Finally, we're keeping an eye on the ongoing government shutdown, which has left some military personnel working without pay, and its impact on the U.S. Navy's birthday celebrations. That's all for now. We'll be back with more in-depth analysis and updates on these stories throughout the day. Thank you for joining us on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. Stay informed, and we'll see you after the break. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, the cryptocurrency market is seeing a surge in interest, with institutional investors providing a floor for prices and driving demand. Our article delves into the implications of this trend and what it means for investors. Next, we turn our attention to Japan, where the election of Sanae Takaichi as the new leader has sent shockwaves through Tokyo's financial markets. Her advocacy for Abenomics and monetary easing is likely to influence the Bank of Japan's interest rate decisions, with potential consequences for the yen and the broader economy. Lastly, OPEC's decision to increase oil production by 200,000 barrels per day in November has led to a slight uptick in oil prices. However, analysts believe that the production hike will be manageable, given current market conditions and rising supply disruptions due to sanctions against Russia and Iran. The G7 nations' plans to increase pressure on Russia through targeted sanctions are also expected to have a positive impact on oil prices. These stories highlight the complexities and uncertainties of the global markets. As we navigate these dynamics, it's essential to stay informed and up to date with the latest developments. That's all for today's summary. Tune in to our podcast for more in-depth analysis and expert insights. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. I'm your host, Carl. In our latest editions, we've been exploring some fascinating topics in the world of space and technology. Firstly, we reported on a recent close approach by 2 asteroids, highlighting the importance of asteroid detection and tracking. We also delved into the world of space tech, discussing Firefly Aerospace's acquisition of Rocket Lab's rocket engine division and the implications for the future of private space exploration. In addition, we gazed up at the night sky to marvel at a stunning supermoon, which coincided with a harvest moon. This rare celestial event reminded us of our connection to the natural world and the rhythms that govern it. Throughout these articles, we've emphasized the importance of critical thinking, skepticism, and evidence-based reasoning in understanding the universe and its many mysteries. We've also explored connections between different scientific fields, from astronomy to philosophy, and highlighted the need for continued investment in space research and development. So, take a moment to appreciate the beauty of the universe and join us as we continue to explore, wonder, and ponder the mysteries of the cosmos. That's all for now. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. Until next time, keep looking up at those stars. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, the Cincinnati Bengals are facing a setback after their loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers, with quarterback Joe Burrow struggling to find his rhythm. Meanwhile, the Bengals' defense is working to shore up their weaknesses in anticipation of their next matchup. Secondly, Los Angeles Chargers wide receiver Keenan Allen has made history by breaking the record for most consecutive games with a reception. This achievement is a testament to Allen's exceptional skill and dedication to his craft. Lastly, we're shining the spotlight on the remarkable family of Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen. The Allens' story is one of love, support, and mutual respect, highlighting the significant role that families play in shaping the lives of athletes and individuals alike. These stories and more are available on our website and social media channels. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. Good morning, and welcome to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. Here's a brief summary of our top. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, Taylor Swift is making waves in the music industry with her new album, The Life of a Showgirl, which has sold an astonishing 2.7 million copies on its first day. Her music video for The Fate of Ophelia is also generating buzz, with fans and critics praising its unique blend of art history, literature, and music. In other entertainment news, Saturday Night Live kicked off its 51st season with a bang, featuring Bad Bunny as the host and Doja Cat as the musical guest. The episode was marked by several notable sketches, including a cold open that poked fun at former President Donald Trump and a Jeopardy parody that showcased Bad Bunny's comedic skills. And finally, in movie news, Dwayne Johnson's latest film, Smashing Machine, unfortunately bombed at the box office with a disappointing $6 million debut. But don't worry, we've also got some horror movie recommendations to get you in the mood for Halloween. That's all for now. Now for the latest in nature and environment. Here is David Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we have the remarkable return of wildlife to urban areas, as seen in the story of beavers and other animals thriving in cities. This phenomenon showcases the resilience of nature and the importance of preserving biodiversity in our daily lives. Secondly, a groundbreaking database called BirdBase has been created, providing comprehensive information on bird ecology and conservation status worldwide. This monumental effort has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of birds and their role in ecosystems, with findings such as 54% of bird species being insectivorous and fish-eating seabirds facing elevated extinction risk. Lastly, a tiny prehistoric fish fossil discovered in Canada is rewriting the evolution of catfish and carp, two of the most common freshwater species. The 100-million-year-old fossil, named Acronychthys macognoi, fills a significant gap in our understanding of the artefison's evolutionary history and challenges current theories on how these fish adapted to different environments. These stories remind us that there's always more to learn about the natural world and its many wonders. Join us again soon for more fascinating stories from the world of science and beyond. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Atanacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.